Hi guys, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys are doing really well. I've got a general reading. We've just had this morning the new moon in the sign of Leo, which has been encouraging us to let our inner child come out and play, to heal our ego, see what it is that we can do to incorporate more passion, more strength of character and more confidence into our life. As we prepare for this full moon in the sign of Pisces, up until then, we're kind of being asked to drop some sort of emotional baggage. Right off the bat, that is the Death card of Scorpio. There is a transformation that is needed. A transformation of the people in your life, the transformation of you, transformation of the situation, of your work. I think wherever you can make it fit, you know there's got to be the end of something and the beginning of something else, which means the inevitable action of taking change and applying it to your life. So the application of change, seeing where it is that there is a transformation that is needed with this new moon, and seeing what it is that you can do to actively put an end to something that you know is done. The Strength card. It was a really, a little bit of a struggle getting that card right there. So it's almost like there needs to be a rebirth in your courage, a rebirth in your strength, the rebirth in your charm. There is an overcoming, a self-discipline, a higher knowing, a mastering the demon, the overcoming the beast. An element of really applying what it takes to create the change, what it takes to create the evolution as we go from Leo season into Virgo season, and as the energy becomes a lot more prominent. I think you will find, I'm not going to take those, I will take the ones that have turned up. King of Wands, Two of Wands, and the Five of Swords. Guys, there are some dogs that are kept by some really bad owners. If you hear them barking, after trying to speak to one of the owners about it, I was told that it's life. So, and it's actually quite funny because in one of the other readings, somebody happened to mention the dogs, and there was obviously a lot of barking of the dogs that was going on, but I didn't even hear it. Is that crazy? I was so in the zone with that reading. And I find that this is something that I've had to really practice over the year 2023, really getting into the zone and not allowing external influences to kind of infiltrate my peace, my attention, my focus. It's not always easy, but if this is something that you resonate with, it might be a strong lesson. Really bringing the attention to the self, disconnecting all of the cords with everything and everyone else. King of Wands, Two of Wands, Five of Swords. A transformation that is needed in your self-concept, because the King of Wands is the entrepreneurial spirit here. This is the divine masculine. This is daddy energy, right? Sagittarius, Leo, Aries energy. Two of Wands, looking over into a place of discontentment and growth, boredom. A lack of growth. A real lack of connection with the self, the needing to seek outside what's already apparent to you, because there are battles that you're winning, right? And there is something about boredom creating chaos, and it's kind of like there needs to be some sort of transformation to this energy. There needs to be some sort of transformation to the fact that there is conflict being created just out of sheer discontentment and boredom, and how there needs to be more of a progressive move towards creating the transformations independently that really, really need to happen right now. And for some of you, that might even have a lot to do with courage. The courage to do what really needs to be done. The courage to transform, to finally allow the change to set in. The courage to take your confidence to the next level by stepping outside of the box and really putting some sort of extrovert crown on and seeing what it is that you can do to move on, Six of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles. Six of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles. So, there is a moving on. You're collecting the swords, those weapons that were formed against you, and there's some sort of intellectual moving on. Some of you actually may be physically moving. It's not necessary. However, there is, with the Nine of Pentacles, a realignment of self-worth that happens once this moving on takes place. This realignment with one's self-worth is not only beneficial for creating that entrepreneurial, lucrative, confident, charismatic, tenacious energy that is what you're being asked to, really create within yourself right now. But there's also this energy of knowing that you have to accept where boredom has set in and how that has created a little bit of conflict in your life, and how moving on forward might mean that you're actually allowing the attention to be exactly where it's supposed to be, and that's on you. Self-worth, self-value. Let's see what fell into my lap. Bottom of the deck, the Wheel of Fortune. So, a really fortunate, lucky turn of events. I said it at the beginning of the month. The astrology of this month is so that we are sandwiched between two supermoons. And right now, with this energy of this new moon, if you are really about the change, if you are willing to really apply the discipline that is needed of you to get out of bed a little bit earlier, to get to work in a more productive way, to see what it is that you can do to manage yourself better, the transformation that is needed and the strength that is needed in order for this transformation to take place is going to require a lot more confidence, right? And accepting that you might be bored and you've outgrown a situation and you're ready for a new thing, and actually using the lessons that you've learned from the recent conflicts, moving on, right? And focusing on the self. The Page of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles. There's a lot of offers here, and the Five of Cups, 5 and 5. So there's obviously some sort of change that is happening. As we approach Virgo season, the focus, the energy, the intention, all of it needs to be brought back to one's own self, the investment one is making in the self, the truth of how you view yourself. There's a lot to do with worth and value here. There's a lot of offers coming forward. The right people at the right time with the right opportunities, the right invitations, the right offers. If things have felt shaky recently, it has only been to realign you with a dream. The Tower card, the Star card, and the Nine of Cups, and the Four of Wands, and the High Priestess. I think tuning into your intuition, there's something about self-soothing and self-comforting, and this being the Leo new moon, there might have been some sort of need to self-soothe or self-comfort, and that's completely okay, because I feel like once you get to a place of like really trusting your intuition and giving yourself the self-soothing and the self-comfort and when you need it, you create an invitation with an external person. And a partnership forms, but this obviously comes after once the self-worth has been reestablished. So the work as we go into the sign of the sign of wisdom, 9 and 9. This is how I know we're talking about Virgo season. As we're moving into Virgo season, a much necessary perspective shift. Okay, the attention can no longer be on the lack of what you really want, because that's only perpetuating more of the lack. This lesson needs to be embodied entirely, because 9 and 9, there is some sort of transformation. We've already spoken about it. Going on to the next stage. And it requires a version of you that is able to co-create and manifest. Like, I know that a lot of you can, but it needs to be embodied and it needs to be seen, almost like a test. So as we get into the season of wisdom, of natural abundance, of the harvest, if you are operating from a 5 and 5 place, 5 of Swords, 5 of Cups, and this is what you're identifying with, I think you might find more of that. And so don't perpetuate the cycle. Learn the lesson and move on. It's about how much you're willing to pour into your own cups and how abundant you're willing to allow yourself to feel. I think that's all I have for you. If you enjoyed the reading, do give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment, let me know how you're doing. Please, guys, take a moment, hit the like button, share, subscribe with your friends, and help support the channel grow. Thank you so much, guys, for all your love and support. I'll catch you soon. Bye.